Hello my dear students, good morning. Actually, in the previous video, we were discussing about oil and grease present in this wastewater and what effects it has, various parameters like temperature, viscosity. So, what effects it has to the relative velocity and everything else. Now, today we'll be discussing. So, what are the various equipments we have used in order to separate this? Okay, grease trap or skimmer or APA, CPA, hydrocyclone, centrifuge like this. So, we'll be seeing one by one. So first one is actually the removal of free floating oil. So that will be done with the help of an APA or interceptor. Okay, the full name is actually APA or oil water separator. It is actually a device designed to separate the gross amounts of oil and suspended solids from industrial wastewater, which will be produced from petrochemical plants or food processing plants and other industries actually. This is actually a gravity separation device. This was used using the Stokes law. Okay, so here the rise velocity is being determined based on the density and also the size. So the design is also based on the specific gravity difference between the oil and the wastewater, because the difference is much smaller than the specific gravity difference between the suspended soils and also water. Okay, so what happens here? Description, I can say it as is a gravity separation device. Okay, so what happens here, due to the density variations, what happens? The oil particles will be floating at the top. So that is the basic. Okay. So the ability of the oil will be separated as the function depends upon the timely performances being needed. So it has to be closely operated, and we'll have to monitoring, inspecting everything else. It has to be properly signed. Okay, so frequent inspection has also be done, because the sludges and walls and all. As the walls and associated piping, it has to be inspection has to be done. Okay. And this sludge and oil needs to be periodically removed. So this is APA separators and frequent inspections, and this, as I said already. Next is this will be of removal of, you can see this will be removing of free floating oil. That is the main effect. Next one is how we are doing this oil and grease and all. No, how you can separate using this when you take the centrifugal method. Okay, so what it is actually, what is meant by centrifugal method? What you can say, normally when a particle is being rotation, what happens now? Centrifugal pump, centrifugal force will be acting. Okay, so what happens here, the centrifugal grease extractor will have a series of baffles will be the, I hope that you can understand this. Okay, so this we have already seen like this. What happens here is, you have a baffles will be installed in the exhaust hood. Okay, so what happens now, when it is rotating, these greases will be removed from the exhausted air by using the centrifugal force. Okay, so these hoods will be playing is it will be a centrifugal bowl or centrifugal spins the oils with the particulate settling out on inside wall. Okay, so layer of water forms on the top will be of particles, and will have also emulsion will be formed. Okay, so this is also a method in order to remove this. Okay, so coalescence, what it is actually, what is meant by coalescence means, it is actually uniting of growing together or increasing the all droplet size. What happens is, due to coagulation, this particle size will be increased. So it can be easily identified and it can be easily removed. Okay, next one is coalescing Pratt interceptor. So this is also, you can see it is having the inlet. Okay, inlet is having the oil, water and solids. Okay, and outer, what happens here, we get it as a pure water is being obtained. So we will see that what is being done. You can see what you can please see the diagram, which has a number of parts. What are the parts actually? You can see that it is having a slant rib coalescent pack, right? So which is actually, and also you have dense coalescing pack also. So what is this use is the coalescing plate separators. You can see here, isn't it? So they will be removing the suspended solids, free oils and grease from the wastewater using the gravity. Okay, a contaminated water, this will be pumped into the chamber, solids will be sinking to the bottom. You can see that the sludge will be collected at the bottom. Okay, and the oil will be rising to the top. So the clean water will be extracted. So what happens, this separator is actually This is a device used for separating the fluid mixtures into individuals utilizing the principle of coalescence. Okay, so this is one. Okay, the principle is coalescence. So greater than 60 micron. You can see this. This is also a diagram. Influent. So oil will be rising up. The water will be going through here. The sludge will be at the bottom. Okay, next one, in-ground oil water separator. So these are some device which has been devised in order to oil water separator. Is actually, this is another principle. So in-ground oil water separator, we can say it is how it is being working. I can say these have been designed specifically to target the oil based on the gravity difference between the oil and water. So what happens is, you can see the diagram. Please, you see the diagram. You can see that heavier solids will be sludgy, like everything will be settling on the bottom, while the oil will be rising. The same gravity policy will be done. Okay, so normally we have different two models: gravimetric or parallel lates, and American Petroleum Institute also will be doing. Okay, this it will be used for separating the oils from industrial wastewater, process wastewater, etc. Okay, pre-treatment will have to consider this, isolated from other flows. We'll have to give some treatments. Okay, you have to you have to check that whether there's a chance for this recycling and anything else, and you have to maintain it. Okay, you have to sludge and solids has to be. So this is that is, we call it as an emulsion. Okay, so what is actually an emulsion? Emulsion, and this is, we know very well. Emulsion means it's a dispersion system. Okay, that is. Any mixture of, emulsion means any mixture of liquids that don't normally mix together, such as oil and water. So that we have to, that is called as an emulsion, we call it as. Okay, one is generally, and other is mixture. So oil is inner phase and water will be the external phase, like milk and egg yolk, you can see, no. So that we have to see that. Okay, so what happens is mechanical emulsions we do have. So here this will be violent mixing, and you may or not may eventually separate depending on electrostatic charge also will also be applied. Okay, so mechanical emulsions will be, you have to avoid the centrifugal pumps and etc. So elbows should be avoided. Okay, so gravity flow you can use some smooth pipings and large pipings to minimize the pressure losses. We'll have to do. So we have chemical emulsions which have the emulsifying agent. Okay, so polar and dipolar will have it as forms a connection between the non-polar oil droplets and the water which is being polar. So this we have to consider. So these are some methods where you can emulsifiers are being available in the shop also. Okay. So the clothes, you can see the oil dirt will be going to the oxide oil, isn't it? A simple soap molecule, the head and tail you will have. You can see that. Okay, you can see that how it is being dispersed. Emulsion is being formed. Okay, we have water, and also you have the solid particles or oil or anything else. So you have a emulsion. Okay, so wastewater treatment problem you have to have. So the emulsions will be, stability will be depending on the pH, vegetations and everything else. Okay, so emulsion breaking can be either chemical, by chemically binding or destroying any emulsifying agent. We can go into acidification, coagulation. We have different methods like acid cracking. Okay, and also addition of acids. So it will be destabilizing this by pH changes, and you can also make some changes in the polarity and etc. Okay. So chemical addition, coagulation, so addition of aluminium and also the iron salts. So what happens? Oil droplets will be attached to the flow, and that forms a treatment from the chemicals, etc. So it will be present in the low bottle. Okay, so sludge will be so the use of oil is to be limited. We have to secure. Salting out means addition of large quantities of inorganic salts. So what happens is this will be increasing the dissolved solid contents and ionic character. So we can high TDS is being effluent, etc. So demulsifiers are being added in order to destabilize the charge, and this is extremely effective. But go for acidification, salting out, and also organic polymers. Okay, physically how we can do is you can apply some forces by centrifugal force or infiltration, also by heating methods, etc. Okay, so when it is being heated, also the viscosity decreases. So 200 degrees centigrade is being done. Okay. And also we can go for centrifugal, the lighter particles will be collected near the vortex, and like this we can use. But it is limited for the oils, okay. So ultrafiltrations also you can use it as methods. And sampling, you can collect the samples and you can check it for this, etc. Okay. So pollution prevention will be based on this only. Okay, so points to avoid overconsumption, you have to be very careful when you buy these articles and all. So you have to make it as pre-treatment and training. Thank you.